Boosie. I think Boosie and maybe Dirk, I guess. Maybe the only two, like Boosie, Dirk, Gucci, the only three real rappers still left. Everybody else is just like really entertainers. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you guys don't know, pretty much Boosie had teamed up with T.I. to go at Charleston White. Charleston White essentially was a subject of their attack because Charleston White talked about their kids. Now, in reality, the kids talked about Charleston White first. Charleston White responded, but then they reacted to Charleston White and said, yo, you're a grown-ass man. Why are you talking to our kids, right? Now, Boosie and T.I. then say, yo, we should do a fucking joint album because it was kicking it for a second. Now, it comes out that, apparently Boosie was in, like, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Essentially, Boosie called Birdman's brother, whose name is Gangsta Williams. He called that nigga a snitch. Why did he call him a snitch? Because that guy admitted to getting out of trouble or getting less time by telling on somebody dead. So Boosie called him a snitch for doing that. Ironically, T.I., I don't even know if it's an old video, new video, a video comes out of T.I. saying, yo, I had a gun charge back in the day, and to get out of the gun charge, I told my cousin that died. So basically, T.I. did the same thing that Gangsta Williams did. Boosie called Gangsta Williams a snitch. Now everybody's looking at Boosie like, bro, you claim you're anti-snitching and you the real and all this type of stuff. You the time in Angola prison. Are you going to still stand by T.I. when he basically said the same thing that you like dissed and castrated another nigga for, right? So Boosie finally answered, and by the way, answered on Vlad. Salute to Vlad.
All right, here we go. Boosie, welcome back. First interview of 2023. Let's get it. Let's get it. So I got to talk about this. Some interviews back, I brought up Terrence Gangster Williams.
Yeah.
And we talked about how he cooperated on some of his friends.
How you think? How you think, Vlad? Stop making that law. You don't know if he did that to get out of jail.
Okay, fair enough.
We don't know that.
Okay.
Do we? Have you saw paperwork?
I've seen some paperwork.
I haven't seen paperwork. How do you know that?
There's been a lot of paperwork that's been floating around.
How do you know that?
Okay, well, look. Okay, so, regardless of what happened, exactly, I brought up the situation to you a few interviews ago, and I said, look, Terrence Williams cooperated on some of his dead friends on some murders, and that in turn allowed him to get out earlier.
Oh, and I also gave him some murders with Sterling and Dooney. So some of my people that I'm at odds with now, even BG was upset about it too, because they was like, man, you tell it on the dead. I didn't look at it like at the time. I was like, well, this is a way I can get up out of prison. I'm not testifying on no one. I'm gonna give them this here. They're gonna cut my time. Cool, But
you had an issue with that, right? And you spoke out the way you usually do in these types of situations.
And I had a real respect for Gangsta and the stories I heard about him, but that shit leave with me. I have no type of respect for him anymore. What I had for him, that was because of all the stories. And
so this was the old interview where he's going in on the gangster dude. So this is a gangster dude. Let me see if I can show him again. My bad, sorry. This is a gangster dude. And then this was Boosie talking about the gangster dude back then.
That shit leave with me. I have no type of respect for him anymore. What I had for him, that was because of all the stories and all that. But once you go that route, I dismiss you from my legend book and X you out.
Well, let's just say the story is true. So like I said, I haven't seen the actual paperwork. And
you haven't seen the paperwork. He could be telling you that just to be telling you that on fucking camera.
Right.
He about to set up 100 motherfuckers. That's how that shit go, man. You stay solid, nigga. Some of us gonna make it, some of us ain't. That's just how it gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You can take that gangster shit off your name, man. Real shit, man. That shit hurt me when I heard about that shit. Cause how all them niggas in that city stand up for gangsta in Angola, man.
Word.
Niggas talk highly of this man. They stand on
man,
this nigga name.
Man, I fell down to my knees. knees when the law
And that shit
Tell him,
hurt
Boosie.
me to hear that nigga was out of jail and that nigga done got down. Cause them niggas in that city, they stand up behind that nigga.
Talk about it, Boosie.
Lee Luke, when I rep Baton Rouge and all my niggas, they gonna come up putting down and stand silent and put in work in the streets, they say gangster. That's one of the good names they say. And that nigga fucked that up with real niggas in the penitentiary.
Hey, Coach Spread, the Clever Investor here. Let me ask you something. Do you want to flip a house with me? Seriously, I'm going to give you a free...
He responded. There was a little bit of back and forth, and that was the end of that. But since our last interview, there's a podcast that came out with your man T.I.
Yeah.
And he talked about a somewhat similar situation. He said that him and his cousin ended up catching a gun case. His cousin died, and he cooperated against his dead cousin and made that gun case go away.
I've seen him do it!
All through the comments when that came out was, hey, Boosie said what he said about Terrence. How does he feel about the situation?
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came.
I feel like the situation with Terrence, I don't even know if that's true. Because I got people who won't come into VladTv and talk to you about Terrence.
Okay.
But so I don't know if that's true. With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too. I don't spare no motherfucking body. Because if you doing anything wrong, you doing anything criminal-wise, and you cooperate with law enforcement, I think T.I. fucking lying. I think he went up there and just...
See, Boosie started out by keeping it real. He started out by keeping it real.
Because if you, so I don't know if that's true. With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too.
This is the thing about snitching I keep telling y'all people. The funny part about this whole thing with snitching is that snitching is snitching until it hits home. Everybody know what snitching is until your homie is snitching. Everybody know what snitching is until your partner is snitching. Everybody know what snitching is until gang is snitching. Ain't that ironic? You never hear this. Nobody ever says, yo, maybe 6ix9ine was just up there talking. Maybe. No. Snitching. It's easy to call it. Yo, let me tell you, this snitch era of music is the best era. I'm going to tell you why. It's weeding out the people who aren't keeping the same energy. It's weeding them out. Because now we looking at everybody and be like, so you still rapping about fuck all snitches while your man who used to do mad songs with snitched? Now, I ain't talking about Boosie. I think Boosie is still one of the very few that, shit, he's trying to give T.I. the benefit of the doubt, but he said it up front. If he really did that, he snitched.
I'll come into VladTv and talk to you about Terrence.
Okay.
But so I don't know if that's true. With the T.I. situation, if he did that, you're a fucking rat too.